switching or pivoting or changing the plan is something that's usually pretty hard to do, especially if you're a bigger company. And even if you're a startup, it can be very, very difficult and painful, or to something, individually for you, just moving and totally changing the way that you've been doing something. There's usually a lot of pain associated with that. And particularly, we're going to be talking today about the technology side, but this goes, like I said, like on a personal side. Like if you've been running, for a long time and training your running, and you've been getting your mile time down, you've been training for a marathon, and then all of a sudden you decide that you want to get jacked and you want to get really big and way stronger. If you go into the gym, it's going to be super painful, right? For those first few weeks, that first month, and you're going to feel really weak in the gym, even though you've made all this sacrifice and you've worked super hard as a runner. And there's switching costs inherent in, all of these pivots in life and in business. And this is something that we have to help our clients with, is overcoming kind of the anxiety around these switching costs, because we have to help them switch off oftentimes their old website provider, their old marketing provider, their old technology provider. Oftentimes, I was blown away when I first got into the business, understanding that these people are really, a lot of these companies that serve and do websites and marketing, and these agencies, they're really, like parasites, right? Like they live off of these companies and attach themselves to these companies, and they lock them in with these long-term contracts and all of these subtle things that make it really hard to switch and get out of the Venus flytrap of those agencies. And this perplexed me for so long, because I noticed that, when I was first starting my business and I thought about, hey, like, I think I could design a better website than these guys. I think I could, get more traffic and get more customers for this business than these guys. Like, I first thought about that. I was like, why is it so hard, to break in and to get, to start the business and to help people, to find people to help to redo their site and everything. And it's because these parasites are very thoughtful about how they engineer these traps, these different elements to keep the person that they've locked in and sold trapped so that they never want to switch again. And so it feels, they are basically incentivized to make it as painful as possible to switch from the runner to going into the gym. They don't want you to stop running, because they're selling you the running shoes and they're selling you the running gear. And they're like, hey, don't start eating protein powder all the time and, lifting weights. You don't need that. Just go out in nature and run, right? They're going to try to sell that. It's just this really interesting thing. And that's really what a big part of our product and our company and our experience that we deliver for our clients, and why they love it so much, is that we've had to basically bust ass to go to war with these parasites and to explore them, to understand their strategies and how to get around them. And I've experienced all of these things, like I'm wanting to work with this new client, and their old website provider, their old marketing provider doesn't want to give up their data, doesn't want to give up the business's data, or that agency, that parasite hasn't even built out the systems to extract the data in a clean way, because their clients or their customers never ask for the data, because they don't know to ask. And so that's one of the things that is so scary if you're a founder and that your website is terrible and that you're not getting any new customers online, that you're not really active on social media and you don't really know where to start, but you just know that it's not working. And maybe, you've even been paying, like you've been paying these agencies and they haven't been working. In getting you new customers. It's so painful and hard to change. And that's really the thing that we do is I go out there and hold their hand, and I'm like, I'm going to get you out of this. I'm going to get you away from this parasite. And obviously the way that we do business, there's no kind of lock-in or anything like that. And I just want the the client that we work with to have an amazing experience and to love and be excited about their website and the design of their online presence and how AI is being used to help them find and connect with new customers and improve their customer experience online. Like, I want them to love that, right? Like, and I want them to love working with me and to love working with Prism. And so just the way that we see, that's fundamentally the way that I see business. Like, if you can focus on that, everything else kind of comes out in the wash and works out, and people will want to work with you for a long period of time. And that's what we've seen as we've been in business for 2.5 years now. So anyways, that is one of the hardest things, is switching, and this also comes in, like, if you hire a team, or if you hire an executive or VP or something like that, and you realize that new hire has been with your company for a while and they aren't really delivering, and you have somebody else who could do their job better, but there are all these switching costs, underneath the iceberg of, other than, like, yeah, you got to have to train this new person. You're going to have to, maybe this, employee that's been working at your company for a while, they have all this context, and you don't even know what they know. And so you have to somehow figure out what they know, get a download of all of that, and then seamlessly share it with the new person that's going to fill their role. And so, yes, there are lots and lots of trade-offs and costs to pivoting, but really, ideally we want to work with, founders and people that own companies as early as possible in this process, so that they aren't stuck and trapped with the negative results or the bad results for a long period of time from their old parasitic agency that's helping them. But a lot of times it gets to the point where, they come to us where it's really like they feel like it's their last resort, and they come to us because it's like they think there's all these switching costs, and it's going to be, really hard, and it's going to be painful almost when they hire me or when they hire Prism, that they're going to have to do all this work and figure out all this stuff and go into this. And that's the best part about the sales process. And when I start talking with our prospects or people that are potentially wanting to work with Prism, is that, hey, like, this is designed to be as easy as possible for you. That I understand as a founder that you have so many fires that you're putting out every day. You have so many hats you have to wear. You have so many people and customers and things that are demanding your time and demanding your attention, that it's not realistic to ask you to free up all this bandwidth to figure this website out with me, or this online marketing transition out with me, to figure out, like, where all your ad data is, and how to get that into the new system, and what the new system is, and what AI tool to use. Like, there are so many questions, and a lot of times, like with fear, it kind of fades when you fade or shine a light onto it, and you get focused on what it really is. But it is so scary to look at it for a lot of these business owners, is what I've found. It's so scary to just, think about. It's like this endless thing, this endless list. It feels endless. Like, there's so many things that come with online marketing, with a website, and trying to attract and convert customers online, that it is scary, and that you feel already so overwhelmed that there's no way, how could I possibly have the bandwidth to, go after and try to make this switch? If I go out and do this is going to kill my business. It's going to take all my attention. I'm going to lose money. It's going to be super painful. And those are completely valid thoughts, because it's been mind-blowing to me that we are surrounded by these parasites, like these bad players, these bad actors that want to trap you and keep you in ambiguity and not make things clear for you and easy for you, but make it so hard that you feel so powerless that you never want to switch. And it's so sad, when I talk to some of these founders, they've been stuck with these agencies, with these vendors, with these parasites for years, and they actually stop believing that there's another way. They just think that everything is like that. And so it's really sad, but also, something, it is so deeply fulfilling to me, into our team at Prism. And I just feel so thankful that I get to show them that, hey, there's another way. It doesn't have to be impossible and hard. And I'm going to show you how we can make your business better than ever, with you feeling better than ever, with you feeling lighter than ever, and you feeling and being able to focus on doing the work that you really want to do, that you really want to think about all the time, and working on the problems that you care about with the people you care about and you want to spend time with when you want to spend time on it, and not worrying about, having to update the website every week or adding new content, to the Google business profile or whatever that thing is. We take care of all of that so that you can focus on what you do and what you love to do. Because that's really where you have the most leverage to create the most value for the marketplace, to create the most value for your customers, is when you're really in that flow state and doing the work that you love to do as a founder and as an owner and running your team. And we understand that the technology, like implementing AI, creating a world-class, beautiful design, and making sure that all these systems work seamlessly together, and that you are bringing in new leads and converting the leads and have a great lifetime value for your customers. That's something that's really important, but it's not necessarily the best thing for you to be focusing on all the time. And so it's really just this new approach and this new, amazing experience. And I just think that, like I tell all my clients and our prospects, that this is the best time ever to own a business. This is the best time ever to be building, and the amazing time to be, leveling up your online part of your business, because there's so much to gain right now in the market.